All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we have another gate update. If you're not following along, go back to the previous couple episodes of the LPDS on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify to listen to the updates on what's going on with Gate here at the LPDS Ranch, and then come back to this one so you can hear the latest and greatest. Okay? We also have a couple of current events to go over and a potentially exciting cage fact. And I'll get into the specifics in that, but all that's coming up right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti. It's the show that talks about nothing and finds the lessons and everything. We try to have a good time doing it, share a few laughs, have some entertainment going on in our lives. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that hotline, 202-670-1114. You can leave your message with questions, advice, trolls, jokes, whatever you want to do. And we'll play it here on a future episode and also have a good time doing it. Maybe find some lessons in the trollery, hopefully. So please hit that hotline, 202-670-1114. Hope everybody had a good week. I was having a great week until the very, very end. And then it potentially became an even better week. And that's probably not a good thing to admit to. We'll get into all that in the Junction, folks. Okay, don't you worry. But I will be starting. I guess by time this episode airs and you guys are watching this, listening to this, whatever, I'll have started a new diet workout regimen here, just to keep tightening things up. I'm trying to better prepare for later in the year, for when it comes Rocky run time, so that when I do my running training, I'm not sacrificing muscle strength and mass and endurance and all that good stuff, and I'm dialing in my diet so I can have better runs during my training and during the race and all that good stuff. So I'm working with my buddy. He's my brother in arms, and I have a lot of good friends who are knowledgeable in the fitness and diet game, the health and wellness game. Some are professionals at it now. Some do it as a passion and a hobby on the side. So it's always tough to, like, who do you talk to about this stuff? I'm working with my brother in arms, Nick at Refined Fit. You can check him out on Instagram. I think it's Nick.refinedfit. REFINED fit. Check that guy out. I think his social media is pretty new as far as posting videos and what have yous in that world. But I was active duty with this guy. We went through tryouts together for my last unit in the joint team with the cool guys. And we tried out together with the 4 weeks of time I did with. I might have put out an old episode of the LPDS, or an earlier pre-recording, or maybe it was before LPDS. I'm trying to think. It might have been pre-LPDS when I went through this. I don't exactly remember the timelines here. I think it was actually. It was right before. Yep, because I started the LPDS in 2020, and this was August 2019. Whatever. I'm going off on a tangent here. We went through tryouts together, and we also happened to be deployed together at the same time, working for different people who didn't know each other. We were in offices right next to each other the entire 7 months I was there. So that was pretty wild. I know I definitely saw him. I recognized him, but I just didn't know who he was. So we went through that together, and so I've known this guy for a while. and I've known his progress in the health and wellness game and his credibility in that world as well. And he's got it down to a science where he customizes the diets for people. He customizes the workout programs. He is not doing cookie cutter. Here's a 2,500 calorie diet. Follow this and you'll be fine. Or here's a cookie cutter workout. He finds, he works with you, the human. So highly recommend him if you're looking for that sort of accountability partner and someone who can help guide you the appropriate direction. I can't. I have some general knowledge enough to be dangerous in the health and wellness game, and I can't help people specifically do that. I want to be able to. So the best way I can help out is to refer people to professionals in that world who are credible, honest, hardworking folks who know what they're talking about in that world, because it's important to me. It's part of the big three: exercise every day, physical, emotional, and mental. And this is exactly what that does and what that helps with. So go check him out if you're interested in that stuff. I also have like I said, a bunch of other friends who all do different specific things in the health fitness community. So if you have sort of like a nuanced goal or niche sort of goal that you're looking to accomplish, reach out to the LPDS, because there's probably someone in our universe here in the Junction that can absolutely help you out. So he's helping me out. We're getting the diet dialed in. We're getting the workouts dialed in so that I can be a well-oiled machine for the LPDS community. So stay tuned on progress on that. I'll probably take some fat progress pics and show you my pre and post, results or whatever. That'll be fun. That won't be, a self-conscious, insecure effort in futility or whatever. So that'll be a good time for everybody. But starting that, so that's exciting. Let's see what else I got going on. I take my notes on my phone now because I still haven't gotten those pens from my notebook yet. They're on the way, apparently. So waiting on those. News article came out, quote unquote news, but the president's dog, Commander, has been given to family members of the president, essentially removed from office, if you will, because he was caught with more attacks on Secret Service agents and people. This time, apparently, they had to stop a White House tour so they can, quote unquote, mop up the piles of blood, the puddles of blood, not piles, idiot, the puddles of blood from the floor after the attack. I think they call it a violent attack too. So they moved the dog to a family member's house, I guess. And Commander is no longer there. Now, I don't care about the politics of whether you like the president or not and his political views, whatever. This is a pro dog rant here. This is the second dog that the president's family had to remove from office because the dog was violent against people outside of the family, specifically Secret Service agents. Now, I kind of understand the dog behavior there. His owners, both of the dogs, the owners, the family are the Bidens. Okay? And everybody else instinctually is a potential threat to his family, his owners. So they're naturally protective in that regard. And you can see in all dogs, they exhibit behaviors in that regard. They wag their tail a certain way. Maybe their hair goes up. Their eyes kind of dilate or shrink. What is the other word for when they don't dilate? Undilate. Look, anybody who has half a brain want to help me out with that one, let me know. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm not going to stop and Google it right now. But there are things that dogs do right off the bat instinctually, without them even realizing it probably, that they see somebody who's not part of the family in their sphere. Okay. And it takes training and discipline to ensure that that dog's not going to do anything, that the dog will be friendly to others coming into the circle, that they understand the difference between a real threat and a not threat, a perceived threat, and then everything's A-okay. And I have trouble with Randy doing that. I say trouble, but he has a protective instinct in him for sure. Just ask Crazy Carol. Because every once in a while, if she comes at a certain angle, not from behind him necessarily, but at an angle where he feels he's caught off guard, or it's an enclosed space and she's coming towards me, or even my father sometimes, his instinct is to posture up and block her. And sometimes he does a little herding action to my mom, and she doesn't like that. And I don't like it either, honestly. I understand, like I said, I understand the instinct behind dogs doing that. But we are continuing to work with Randy to prevent that from happening again and to quiet that down. It's gone from an annoying problem to a slight laughable occurrence, sporadic occurrence. So we're getting down to the point where it shouldn't be an issue anymore. It shouldn't be anything anymore. But that's what dogs do. Now, the key there to all that was that it requires training and discipline on the part of the owner to work those behaviors out of your pet. Okay? And when you have now a history of dogs who continue to exhibit those behaviors and not getting them fixed or corrected appropriately to the point where they're now causing harm and having and violent attacks occurring, shedding blood in the White House, that is 100% on the owner of the pet. Okay? I am in the belief that with very few exceptions, because just like humans, there are exceptions with the brains and the development of dogs and humans, that there's always the small percentage of like the bad apples. Okay, we see that in the human race as well. But generally speaking, there are really no bad dogs, just bad owners. Okay? And bad behaviors and actions of dogs are either trained into them or not corrected to the point where they think that's a good behavior. And that's what's going on here with the president's dogs, is that they're not correcting it. They're not doing what they should be doing as dog owners to take care of that, for the dog's sake and for everybody else's sake around them. So, of course, when a German Shepherd sees a Secret Service agent doing Secret Service things, he sees that as a threat because he doesn't know any better. He's a dog. Now the dog has to go to a family member. Maybe they're euthanizing it. Who knows what's going to happen? An otherwise could have been great dog is now ruined and lambasted and vilified in the media, and no responsibility is given to the owners of the dog, the human beings who took on the responsibility, or is supposed to take on the responsibility, to turn that dog into a quality, disciplined, happy, loving house pet. And shame on them. Okay, absolutely shame on them. Now, I know some people don't like dogs. Some people, are probably like, kill that dog. He's going after humans. That's, get rid of that dog. The dog's a problem. The dog's behaviors are problematic because of the human being that failed that dog. Okay? That is my opinion, granted, but it's also the opinion of a lot of other people. And I feel like, again, another opinion here, I feel like those who are defending the owners of this particular dog, and both those dogs that got removed, they're just apologists and they refuse to admit that these owners are pieces of garbage in the dog world. Some would argue in the rest of the world too. But sad state of affairs in the dog community where they couldn't get it figured out. And people had to get hurt because of it, which sucks. Okay, I had a dog where that happened, and we had to put the dog down. And there was a combination of things. The dog had that problems. They actually took his brain for scientific research after he was euthanized. So, yeah, all encompassing. I'm sure us as a family didn't help that situation either. You had a bunch of crazy kids, a bunch of loud Italians not helping out. There's got to be fault on the owners. There's got to be responsibility on the owners in some way, shape, or form, even for those bad apples, a little bit at least. Anyway, moving on to hopefully happier things. Another quick bitch session I want to go on. People have heard a lot of this phrase before recently. It's trending now, mainly with the younger demographic of probably middle school up to college age, maybe mid-20s, probably mostly on the female side, I'd say. I don't know for sure. I don't hang out with people that age, but at least on social media, on TikToks and Instagrams and reality TV, it's usually that age range on the women's side. And it's that phrase where they say, it's giving, and then whatever. So if they're saying you're being disrespectful, instead of saying, hey, what you said was disrespectful, they just say, it's giving disrespect. And I hate it. And I might be the old bastard who can't get with the times and get with the trends in lingo and verbiage. I say jabroni still. Obviously, we have a jabroni junction. And the Iron Sheik created that word decades ago. So I know I'm out of touch in a lot of things, but I also have a pretty decent gauge of what's stupid and what sounds stupid. And there are few phrases and things out there that when they're grammatically incorrect and they don't actually make sense, there are a few that I actually like in that when they're in that category of grammatically incorrect and also don't make sense. That there are very few that I will like not care about or let go and be like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. This one I can't let go, and that's probably on me. That's a shortfall on my part. That it's not important. I don't know why it's in my brain all the time. It's swimming in my head rent free. But when I hear people say it unironically, when they think it's like the thing to say and not saying in a joking manner, I have friends that say it joking all the time because they hear it all the time and they're like, it's giving whatever, ha, 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 like the kid, they say, as the kids say. So I have no problem with that. Like those people are aware of the situation. Now, I worry that they're going to get to the point where they're saying it ironically so frequently that it's going to become unironic and they're going to actually start saying it for real. I always worry about that. But I don't, it's whatever. It's giving whatever. It just sounds so stupid. And they're starting to be graphic with it. Now, I don't have a problem with the graphic nature of it. I'm not going to say it here, but they're saying stuff like when a girl looks sexy in an outfit, maybe it's scantily clad, a lot of cleave, a lot of leg showing, whatever, and they're looking good, their friends will say it's giving C word, which means like you're slaying, baby, apparently. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I looked it up incorrectly because I actually am the idiot who had to Google, what does this mean? What are they referring to when they say it's giving C word? See you next Tuesday. Not saying it. This is a family show. So I'm not doing that. Don't worry about it, Terrence. Family show. That's what they're called. That's what they're saying to their friends to hype them up. That you're sexy looking, you're scandalous, you look like a hot slut, and they love it. Now I'm all about putting positive spins on previously derogatory comments. I don't like the word slut when you're describing women in a negative tone. I think that's unfair to them. They're doing the same thing that guys do, but we're not called sluts in a derogatory way. So I don't like that anyway. So I'm fine. If you want to put a positive spin and take back the word, go for it. But we got to find a better way to do it. Okay? By saying it's giving, see you next Tuesday, that's not it for me. We got to find a better way. That sounds, if somebody said that to me, I'd slap them. I'd slap them upside the head. Not that anyone would say that to me, because I wear tank tops and gym shorts almost exclusively. So I'm not giving anything good. So, but I just, look, if you know somebody who says that seriously, unironically, it's giving for everything that they want to describe. It's giving sheep. It's giving follower. It's giving, I don't have a mind of my own. It's giving, I'll just do whatever the cool kids seem to be doing so I can fit in. And you have to have a conversation with those people. Well, you don't have to do anything. I recommend having a conversation with those people to talk about the importance of independent thinking and being your own person and not doing stupid stuff like that. Because you're going to look back and be like, that was stupid. I looked like an idiot. I know this because I do look back at stuff I did as a kid and in my younger adult years to be cool, or because I thought other people would like this more, and I realized how stupid that was. Okay? I am not moral high horse in anybody here. I have a long history of being stupid and doing and saying stupid things to sound cool and look cool and think I was cool in the eyes of others. So this is more of like, learn from my mistakes, folks. I learned the hard lesson so you don't have to. So I implore you, help them out here. All right, I think that's all I got on the current events side. I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on. I still got these allergies going on. They're getting a little better. I have little random spats throughout the day now of all of a sudden stuffiness or runny nose comes on or itchy nose and a bunch of sneezing, and then I'm kind of back to okay again. I've been taking Claritin. I think that's a scam. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it in the past. I'm pretty sure Claritin is a scam where they tell you, oh, you have to take it every day starting a month before allergy season. Otherwise, it won't get in your system properly and it won't work. I'm pretty sure I bitched about this in the past because or I've bitched about it to somebody enough times where it's in my brain of like, I've had this conversation with myself before. But I'm pretty sure it's a scam. I had a high school teacher in high school, believe it or not, Doc Magotti. He was one of the creators of Claritin back when he worked at the lab. I forgot what company did it. Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, whatever pharmaceutical company he worked for at the time. He was part of the team that created it. I always call Doc Magotti out for this. I think it's a scam. I think it's a way for them to be like, give me your money and we'll give you the illusion of relief, of allergy relief. The only thing that works for me is stuff like Benadryl, antihistamine stuff, but that crap knocks me out. So I can't really take it that much during the day because I need to be functioning during the day to get work done, to do business, to do stuff. So I'm still trying to dial in the best relief and treatments for allergies without having to go to the doctor and get some weird prescriptions that also may or may not actually help or will put me out to sleep and I can't function. So we'll figure it out. We're getting there, folks. With that, though, we'll get into the good stuff and we'll step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Legal War Bonds. Are you looking to do your part in the war against the big real estate industries? but are too weak to get on the front lines yourself? Well, now you can support by buying legal war bonds. LWBDs are the best way for everyday Americans to invest in the legal war effort simply by purchasing bonds that will provide funds to the war effort while also increasing in value for you to sell later at a significant profit of 0.029%. So to do your part today, visit www.doitforthelpdsuniverse.com. And if you use the promo code Uncle Tony Riggs Wants You, you'll get 29 free war propaganda pamphlets with your purchase. This is going to be important, folks, and you'll find out why in the Junction. But this is going to be important here. All right. Now, the Cage fact, potentially exciting news, but it has been reported that Nic Cage is in talks for a live action to star in talks to star in, excuse me. In a live-action Spider-Man noir series on television. I don't know if it's going to be streaming or on TV. Hopefully streaming so they don't wash it down. But it was far rumors long time ago when Into the Spideyverse came out and Cage was playing Spider-Man Noir, at least the voice of it. And they were rumored to be coming out with a show with that, but nothing about Nic Cage. And now the official rumors are out there that he is in talks to potentially make this work, make this happen. Now, I believe the rumors because not only did we get reports that Nic Cage was talking about in interviews saying how he wants to get into TV before he retires, but also his love of comic book heroes and such Marvel heroes. He's been, almost Superman. He's been Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze. He's been Spider-Man Noir in the cartoon, in the animated version, and now potentially a live-action version starring Nic Cage in Noir, doing the do. So exciting. I'm not getting my hopes too high because I don't want to be crushed if it doesn't work out, because this stuff doesn't work out all the time. I mean, they were legit getting ready to film Superman with him in it, and it got scrapped at the last minute. So we'll see how it goes. They're still talking about doing National Treasure 3. 17 years later. And, so we can't get our hopes too high, but it's exciting to see the possibility of it all. So that's the Cage fact for you guys. There you go. Now we'll get into the Junction. Spin the logo up. And ladies and gentlemen, we are officially at war. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the previous episodes, okay? The last 2 episodes, I explain all the updates to what we have been calling Gate up to this point. We will have to reconsider what we call this now, this campaign, because we are now at war with the real estate services company that runs the strip mall behind my house. Okay. There has been a third action taken. I don't know when it happened. It could have happened as part of the second attack on our private property here at the LPDS ranch. I don't know, but it's a third action noticed and discovered. Instead of a board on the gate of the fence, a screw at the bottom of the fence of the gate has been screwed in there, drilled in on an angle so that it goes into the gate door and into the door jamb of the gate. The wood 4x4 post right by the hinges, so that when you go to open the gate, It's screwed in at the bottom, so it won't even open. Now, the only reason I discovered this is because I check that gate now every day, obviously. When I take out Randy, I check that gate every day to see if it's good to go. And you can see through the cracks of the little separations between the wood planks if a board has been across. And then every once in a while, I'll open the gate. This time, I opened the gate to see if somebody screwed around with my signs that I put up, my privacy signs, to see if maybe if that was the attack. And when I went to open the gate, there was a little bit of resistance, and then I can hear some cracking in the wood. I was like, well, I don't like this. And when I finally got the gate open, I realized I was pulling the screw out of the post, and it was cracking the wood on the way out. And if that didn't put the biggest smile on my face, I wish I had it on camera. I'm tempted to subpoena for the security camera footage of that back area, because once I discovered it, the legal war drug addict came back to life, came back from the dead. Okay, I was talking about previously trying to fill the void of war, figuratively speaking, of course. I had some relatives suggest taking on chess because of the strategy of it all, and I liked that idea. I really did, and I wanted to do something like that until this lady of this company made the biggest mistake of her life. And I can't stop smiling. If you're watching YouTube, I apologize. I don't mean to be happy about this. I don't want to be happy about this. This is not good. I've told you how bad war is, of any kind, legal or otherwise. But I'm an addict, folks. I am an addict for this stuff, for revenge, for silencing the doubters, for getting one for the Gipper, for taking out the big dogs of the Goliaths. That's what I live for. And I pride myself on doing that in a manner that is both successful and not demeaning to the loser. I pride myself on doing that because I just want to win. I don't want to maim you or embarrass you or disrespect you in that regard. I just want to win. But this is not a moral high ground situation where no matter what you do, I'm going to take the moral high ground and be the bigger person. There is a threshold. There is a red line in the sand of so much disrespect and low blows and below the belt jabs that I will sustain before my gloves come off. Now, I'm not quite there yet in this regard. I don't have to be right now. I'm getting, she put the syringe in my vein filled with legal war drugs in there. And that's all I need right now. And I'm off to the races. Okay. She made the biggest mistake of her career. And if she continues with the disrespect, she's going to be making the biggest mistake of her life, because nobody's going to know. She's not going to be able to work anymore. I'm joking about that, folks. I'm not here to crush people in a way that they can't put food on their table. But if you push me to the brink, things are going to get ugly. All right? And this lady is pushing me to the brink. And she has made a decision. I didn't make this decision. She has made a decision that she wants whatever the consequences end up being for her. She seems to be okay with that. I don't think she realizes exactly what's going to happen. I tried calling her again. So by the time you listen to this episode, unless you listen as soon as it releases, I will have contacted her again in the first official maneuver of whatever campaign we're calling this. Operation Gate. I don't think that I don't like that it's unoriginal, but we got to come up with a new name. Once you cross over into official war, you have campaign names, operation names. So I need to figure that out, but that's where we're at. And so in the first official maneuver, I will be contacting her again. I will also be recording the call for quality and training purposes, of course. And it will not be a request. This is not a request to please stop. This is a professional courtesy letting them know game on. And I'm going to predict the future for them. I'm going to let them know up front. This is what's going to happen. I don't make threats, by the way. I'm not threatening people. I'm not doing anything crazy like that or incriminating or anything like that. I'm just stating this is what's going to happen. Simple mathematical if-then formula here. Okay? The if was if you broke our initial temporary agreement, our temporary ceasefire, if you will, I won't use that gate if you don't screw around with it anymore. If you break that agreement, then this is what's going to happen. We will go down the legal channels, every possible channel you can imagine. And just when you think no more legal action or paperwork can be dumped on your building, just when you think it's all clear to come out, the smoke and the dust are settling, you're going to get hit again. Okay? You're going to get hit again on the legal side until you throw up the red flag, the white flag, not the red flag, you dope. I'm seeing red so much that everything is red right now. You throw up the white flag or you die, you legally die. In the legal sense of the word, and you lose the case. You lose this trial. That's what's happening. That is what's going to happen. Okay, you will have to you will have to ensure for an indefinite period of time, your husband either gets a second job or gets a raise at his job to be able to make up for the loss of income on your end because you're not going to be working anymore at that company. You're going to have to be looking for other work. Okay, because when your company gets wind of the shenanigans, the illegal shenanigans you got involved with under their name, you're not sticking around. There's no way. And if your company makes a mistake of backing you up in this endeavor, sorry, I'm getting an allergy attack again. It's hitting me randomly, like I said. If they make the mistake of doing that, then they will also suffer the legal consequences of their actions. Their best bet is to cut off the edge of the ice of the glacier that she's on and kick her out to sea and let her go on her own and protect the rest of the business. Because here's the deal. This is one property of several properties I'm sure this lady alone deals with on a regular basis. Okay? So she has to proportion out her time appropriately to do her job, whatever it is, managing all these different properties. Same goes for this company. This is a small piece of their big pie of operations that they deal with and priorities. This is my life. Okay? This is not only where I operate my business out of, this is my home. This is where I exist. This is where Randy lives and plays and goes pee-pee and poopy. This is where my friends and family come to see me and visit. And we make meals and share memories and laughs and good times. This is my life. This is my priority. I don't have percentages of priorities to deal with. This is it. So if you think I'm not going to come at you from every legal angle known to man and lawyer, think again, folks. Think again. We are now at legal war. Okay? This is a whole different thing now. This is a whole different situation. We never even got to legal war when I was dealing with Lowe's all those years ago for the grill for my parents. When we bought them a Christmas present, we got that grill. That wasn't even legal. We didn't even get to official legal war there. Damn, these allergies are annoying. I'm sorry, guys. So this is all new for the LPDS community. Not for me. Unfortunately, it's not new for me. I have to go back to, what I've been indoctrinated to become, a monster. An absolute monster. And if you think I don't have people waiting in the wings to come off the top rope on my behalf from my family and my brotherhood circle and my friend circle and the LPDS universe, again, think again. You are wrong. I have to hold back certain family members right now from unleashing absolute hell on these people. And it's mainly because they don't have the control to keep things on the legal side. They will do stuff. But like I said, family and priorities are all relative to the individual people we have, going on in this world. There are many of you who have family, children, a spouse, maybe grandkids too, and your priorities are now that larger circle. Okay? My family is up in New Jersey. My brothers, my friends that are my brothers, are spread out throughout the country. Okay? In this moment, this is it for me. This is what I have. My business is here. My life is here in this LPDS ranch. And you might be thinking, this is just a stupid fence gate. And I couldn't agree more, folks. This is just a stupid fence gate. And I am going to remind this lady and her company and her supervisors that this is just a simple fence gate that this lady could not stop defacing and vandalizing and trespassing on. And because of her utter lack of respect, not only for the laws of this city and state and this country, but for the property of somebody else, another human being, because of her utter disrespect, lack of respect, apathy towards that, thinking I am just some bum homeowner who's not going to do anything about it because I'm dealing, I'm a big time corporate entity. This guy's a bum. I will take you down to the trenches of hell, to the sewers of the most despicable, legal things you have ever encountered in your life. And I will beat you down with my experience and my abilities and my enthusiasm for it. Because I'm an addict. When it comes to this stuff, when it comes to revenge and legal victory and legal war, I am an addict. And you just injected me with my drug of choice. And that's where I live. You have now brought me home. Okay? And now I'm going to take you into my domicile, into my arena, where I live and breathe and thrive. And I'm going to make you rue the day you crossed me. You're going to sit there years from now. Years from now. You're going to have a good life, lady. I'm not going to give your name out. You're going to have a good life. You're going to sit there. Your family's probably going to be fine. You're going to be sitting there, maybe retired, maybe not, maybe still having to work. Who knows? You're not going to be in jail. I wouldn't do that to you. You can't handle jail. And you're going to be thinking back, my life could have been a lot different, probably for the better, if I didn't make this absolutely abysmal mistake by going after this guy. I thought he was a bum. And I showed no respect. And you're going to be teaching your kids this, lady. You're going to be telling your kids and grandkids, don't fuck with strangers' properties and homes. Because 9 times out of 10, you might be able to get away with it. But the one time you don't, you'll never live it down. You will live with that regret for the rest of your lives. So don't be like me. Or else you're going to be on your deathbed wishing you didn't come cross paths and fuck with the LPDS community. And that's exactly what's going to happen to this lady. That's exactly what's going to happen. And this is, again, these are not threats. And we have fun here on the LPDS all the time. But everything that is in the legal powers and authorities and rights will be rained down on these people until their trainers throw the white towel. Throw it in, raise the flag, sign the peace agreement that they lost, or we will go legal nuclear on them. I have nothing else to lose. This is it. Okay? You think it's just a fence gate, and technically it is, but guess what that fence gate protects? That is the first line of defense into my world, into my existence right here, into the LPDS ranch and compound and everything that I'm about. They came in, they crossed the border into the U.S. That's what's going on right now. And before they can take out the White House, the D.C., the center point, the mothership, we're going to send them back wishing they didn't even think of doing something like this. Listen, lady, you're a corporation. You're a company. You think you got back and you have lawyers on a retainer. You think your company supervisors are going to come and fund this venture for you. You think I'm not going to come back and do anything about it because I'm just some humphead kid with no money behind me, no capital to fund this war. And I'm not going to want to waste the time and effort and risk just to go after this corporation over something as silly as a fence. Listen, lady. You're Drago and I'm Rocky. Okay? And I know you're old enough to know what that movie is, to know that reference. I'm going to Siberia, lady. Okay? I have been there. Training, preparing, lifting horse-drawn carriages full of rocks and humans, running up mountains, outpacing vehicles in the snow, carrying logs on my back through 3 feet of snow in the icy cold tundra of Siberia. That's where I'm at right now. You have your corporate gym, your corporate preparation centers. You're injecting yourselves with your steroids and your supplements, and you have all these cool machines that you could be training on, but you're really kind of half-assing it because you think you got this one in the bag in the first round. But listen to me. Once again, please listen to me. Okay? You're not stepping in your arena. You're not in your ring. You think you are. You think you are because you've done this 1,000 times. This is just how business is. We deal with lawsuits and unhappy customers and legal jujitsu all the time. That's why we have lawyers on retainer. So we have no problem. This is our world. This is not your world, okay? And this is the craziest thing that you're not going to realize. You're going to think it's your world all the way to the very end. And then when you lose and you're bleeding and your eyes cut and your ribs are broken, and you hear that 10 count in the 15th round, and your crowd is applauding me, that's when you're going to realize, oh, I was playing an away game this entire time. These sewers, these trenches, not mine. They were his. And that's when you're going to realize it. I'm going to take you 15 rounds, okay? You think it's going to be over in 1 or 2 because you're bigger and stronger and you have all the juices behind you. I'm going to take your ass 15 rounds. And you're going to keep punching at me, and you're going to wonder why the hell is this guy still up? How the hell is he able to do this? This is my world right now. How is he able to keep taking these punches and keep getting back up as if he knows what he's doing? As if he's an impenetrable piece of iron. And your company, by the end of it all, because I'm going to take you 15 rounds, lady. I'm taking you the distance, okay? And I may look bloodied and battered and beaten, but I've also been there before. Okay, I live for that shit. Ask any of my friends and family members. I asked for that crap. I'm begging you to brutalize me all you think you are capable of. Because there's nothing I love more. Once you give me that hit, once you give me that little drug hitter, there's nothing I love more than making you think I'm beat to death and I come out on top. And that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going 15 rounds. I'm telling you, I'm predicting the future for you. So you have the ability now to prepare accordingly. You're not going to. No matter what you do, you're not going to. But I'm still telling you. So now, at the end of it all, I can tell you, hey, I told you so. I gave you the blueprint of what's going to happen and how you can prepare for this, and you still didn't believe me. This is what's going on. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you all the information up front. And you're still going to lose. You're in my world now. You are in my world. I wanted to have a nice episode to talk to everybody and find out about their weeks and share some fun stories. Talk about my old man. He's doing better now from his little pizza fiasco. We found out it wasn't really the pizza. I guess there was a stomach bug going around because my mom got sick too, and they're all fine now. And we shared a few laughs about it, and we joked around as a family, and it was all good. I wanted to talk about that. You don't want to hear me when I'm angry and I'm at war. I know you guys don't. That's not good. That's not good listening material. I didn't want this. But you started war, and now you're getting war. And after 15 rounds of you getting the shit beat out of you in the legal sense, not knowing where all these legal blows are coming from. How is he able to do this round after round? I keep hitting this guy, and he keeps getting up and busting my ribs and my kidneys and my liver, breaking my nose. I can't talk anymore. I have to drink out of a straw all my meals now. How is he doing it? When it's all said and done, your company is going to be giving me the standing ovation from their ivory tower and their VIP seats in my arena that you thought was yours the entire time. And I pleaded with you. I gave you every opportunity to not dick around with me and my property and my home. And in the bigger picture, the LPDS universe as a whole. I begged you. I gave you every concession possible to find a way for this to work for both parties. And you had to go and sneak that little screw in like you think I wouldn't notice. And now you're going down. The LPDS flag is going to be wrapped around me in victory. And you're not going to know what hit you. And years down the road, you're still not going to know what hit you. You're not going to understand how this possibly could have happened. How in the world did this bum push back on my illegal advances? Tell me how things were going to end up, how this war was going to go, predicted the future for me. And when I had all the answers, I still lost. He still beat the shit out of me. How did this happen? The question is now, how long will this war take? Okay? We don't know. This could take years. This could take hours. This could take a simple phone call that I will be making this week, and it could all be over like that. Stay tuned, folks. That's all I got on this topic today. I don't know if there's going to be any updates. There's not going to be regular weekly updates. I don't think. If there are, I'll provide quick updates in the beginning of future episodes. I don't know what's going to happen now. We're at war. We're in new territory for you guys. Not for me, for you guys. But there are so many ways this could and probably will go. There's no telling. You might not hear about this for the next year. And then all of a sudden an update happens. So stay tuned. We'll see how it all goes. Before we go, real quick, the big three. The three pillars to staying strong and being a better, happier, kinder, more genuine human being and spreading that goodness throughout the land. Number one, exercise every day. Do something, at least one thing each day to improve your physical, mental, or emotional health and wellness and fitness. Number two, don't be a shitty person, be a kind person. Okay, when the opportunity arises to be shitty, realize your emotions in that state, take the step back, and just omit yourself from the situation. And you'll be able to minimize the negativity going on in the world and focus on more positive, productive things. Unless those people keep coming back at you, preventing you from doing your positive, productive things because they just won't stop attacking you. Then you go to war. Number three, the most important one, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. If you're questioning why I'm so adamant about a simple fence gate, it's because this is my home. This is my first home that I've ever owned. It's mine. Okay? After this episode, after I get done recording and editing this, I'm going out throughout the rest of my fence to put new screws in certain areas where the wood is warped a little bit and the nails came out or whatever. I'm going to repair, update my home. And then the next day, I'm going to do some stuff around the landscape, the gardening, to prepare for gardening stuff, because I want my plants to be able to grow, and I want my house to look nice. This is my home. Okay? And at any moment, it could be gone. A hurricane could come and wipe it all away. I could have had a burst pipe in the wintertime when I was up in New Jersey, and it's all flooded and gone. And I think about that on a minute to minute basis when you own your first home. I feel like it's something that we all probably feel initially. So I'm going to do everything I can to protect that, because I know how shitty my life would be without it, at least in the short term. And I'm grateful that I have this home. And I'm going to appreciate it and take care of it as best as I can, to include going to war for it. So if you do all those three things, folks, every day, a little bit every day, I promise you're going to be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, more genuine human being, and you can spread that goodness to the rest of the world. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow and put your notifications on, and hit that hotline 202-670-1114 so that we can talk to each other, engage with each other, spread the goodness to everybody. Give the phone number out to a scam caller, a telemarketer. Let them call in. I'll take them in the hotline too. It doesn't matter. We'll have a good time with it. So thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.